All right, we're gonna start pulling the knee towards the same side shoulder and then bring it across the body, looking to move into the glute stretch here. Sit up really tall out of your spine as you do this, or if you're on the floor, you can just relax and just kind of find any tension through the hip. Good, let's switch sides, same thing other side. Again, we're pulling it towards the chest and then bring it across the body like you're gonna go cross your legs. Just looking for any tense areas in the area of your hip. Well done. From there, we're gonna move into our figure four. So start to work the foot onto the opposite leg. Sitting nice and tall or lying back, pulling the leg in towards the chest. And you can either just, if you feel really good tension there, seated, just leave it there, or you can just give a little bit of overpressure with the hand on the same side knee. Relax the eyes, try not to stare at the screen the whole time. Find your breath. And relax and switch sides. Nice job. And remember, just a nice reminder, when we're stretching, we want it to be a gentle stretch. You shouldn't feel like your whole body is shaking really hard, just where you're like, all right, I can feel that. If it is intense when you're stretching, I would just recommend backing out of it a little bit. Say hello there. And rest. Very good. And then let's go ahead and make your way to the doorway. We're going to open up through the chest. I'm going to go to the tree here. The wall works also. So when you get there, you're going to bring your elbow right about shoulder height. Whatever side you're stretching, that same side leg is going to step forward. And now you want to lean into it, like you're leaning forward to get a nice stretch on the front of the chest. This stretch is a really important one for us to keep our chest open. Everything tends to be right in front of us, our computers, our steering wheels. If you have children or grandchildren or pets that you hold, our bodies try to hold everything forward. So we want to keep our chest open, help with our posture. Go ahead and switch sides when you're ready. Either just turn it around. Inside leg steps forward, lean in and turn away. And relax. Nice job. Coming back to center, one more, and then we're going to move into our next piece. Actually, let's come back to seated. And we're going to do a little bit of a rotation with our shoulder rolls. So if you can, cross the leg all the way over or hand to the opposite leg. And you're just looking to pull yourself a little bit deeper into a twist. Hand on the shoulder, and you're going to cycle the elbow around, trace in, what do we say, grapefruits. Good. And just look in the direction that you're stretching. Breathing. And switch. Same thing other side. Hand to the opposite leg. You can cross the leg over if you'd like. Sit as tall as you can up out of your spine. And then turn yourself in that direction. Hand to the same side shoulder, and I'm making those circles. Roughly about 10 times, circling around. All right, fantastic. So we got 2 exercises for the next piece as well. We're going to be doing our alternating sumo deadlifts, meaning we're alternating our arms, and we're going to be doing our T push-ups like we did if you were here on Thursday of last week, or you can hold a plank. All right, they're going to be a little bit longer than we did last week. So the deadlift, if it's tough for you to touch your toes, maybe just go to about knee height, stand, and then switch hands. All right, if you want to go all the way to the floor, you can switch hands on the ground. Just make sure that we want to be long in our spine. We don't want to be rounded through here, okay? And then you're welcome to hold a plank, a straight plank, Or our push-ups, you'll lower down, come up, and we'll continue to have those rotations. Make sure that you're not dropped into the shoulder, sunk in here, lifting up out of that bottom shoulder. We'll be working for 45 seconds on each exercise with 15 seconds in between. And I'm gonna take you through 3 straight rounds without any long rest, okay? So follow me for all 3 or do whatever feels best. All right, let me know if there's any questions. Otherwise, we're gonna start with those alternating deadlifts in 10 seconds. So sumo means we're gonna go wide base stance and be nice and tall through the spine. 3, 2, 1, here we go. Send the hips back, slight bend in the knees, engage the glutes and stand. And again, you can switch hands at the floor or up at the thighs. And you're always welcome, if you don't want to do a single arm, you can just hold on with both hands and hinging over, making sure that you really use your upper body to keep that weight close to your midline. So what I mean by that is I don't want it to swing out away from the body. The further it is away from our center of gravity, the more strain it's going to put on our back. And same idea when you go to pick up your laundry baskets or grocery bags off the floor, get as close as you can to it. And rest. There's our 45 seconds, 15 seconds. You can either do push-ups on the ground or find a nice elevated position. As you lower down, if you're doing the push-ups, elbows more to the side than wide. 2, 1, here we go. So again, hold the plank or moving into the push-up. And if you're doing the push-ups, set your feet a little bit wider, so about hip width apart or slightly outside the hips. Nice job. Strong in the midline. Good, Diane. As you lower down, keep those shoulders back. Up. And if you're holding that plank, just watch the hips. You don't want them to drop down, so keep lifting them up. Try to hold them right in line with those shoulders. Good, Ann. And 3, 2, 1. That's the end of set 1. Good job. 15 seconds. We'll be moving back into the deadlifts. If you want longer rest, then just give it to yourself. Maybe do set 1 and 3 with us. Wide base stance, tall in the hips. Send those hips back and begin when you're ready. Hinging over, straight up. Very good. Hold good tension in the midsection so you're engaged through your core. Moving with control. Nice work. There you go, good. 10 seconds left. And 3, 2, 1, and rotate. Very good, either plank or push-ups. Nice, the neighbors took the dogs back inside. 3, 2, 1, either can hold here, or if you wanna move into those push-ups, really stay in alignment with those shoulders. Most common mistake we see is the shoulders shoot forward, so hold them back on the shoulder blades, or back on your rib cage rather. Opening through the chest. Very good, just be patient with these movements. Doing great. Almost there. 2, 1, and there's set 2. Nice job, we've got 1 more to go. Last set of those deadlifts, standing nice and tall. Your hips tucked underneath the shoulders, send them back, and here we go, whenever you're ready. Switch hands on the ground this time. Push through your legs as you stand. So use the legs, push as the midline stays engaged. Fantastic. Well done. Good rhythm, Jean. That's the way. Fantastic. Working that hinge over and down, up and stand. Good job. All done there. Just the plank or the push-ups remaining. And then one more piece to finish up the session. All right, hands right underneath those shoulders, feet about hip width apart, 2, 1, and begin when you're ready. So again, feel free if you just want to hold nice and strong or lowering down into that T push-up. Doing a lot of core work today. We've got some side planks coming up in the next piece with some weighted marches. Plank and core work is always a good thing to do with other people because it's not really that exciting. Most human nature is we don't do the things that aren't fun on our own, so we do it together. And 3, 2, 1. Good job, everybody. Nice work. Grab some water. All right. So from here, we're gonna just kind of stretch out just a little bit more, give ourselves a little bit of a break, and then we'll move into the last piece. I'm gonna do the tricep side bend stretch next. So feet underneath our hips, slight bend in the knees. You can reach up nice and tall to overhead. We wanna avoid arching here. So ribs down, bend the elbow, try to keep your neck as long as possible. And then if you can reach up and grab that opposite elbow, either hold it here if you feel good and feel nice and in good position. You can just gently bend to the side, bending away from the side that you're stretching. Fantastic. Very good. And if it doesn't feel good to go all the way overhead, you can always do like across the body, like the Frankenstein position. Good job. And then let's shake out those arms. Arm swings, back and forth, alternate which arm's on top. Well done. And then opposite arm, reach it up nice and high. Bend, chin in, ribs down, and side bending if you feel good for it. Well done. Nice job. Couple more. And last one. Fantastic. All right, for our last piece, I'm gonna take you through 4 sets. We're gonna have a weighted march for 30 seconds. We'll have 10 seconds to transition. We'll do side plank on the left and side plank on the right. So for the side planks, unless you know that you've done them before and you wanna get down on the ground, you can get down on the ground. Otherwise, I recommend coming elevated, where you'll start in the front plank, and then you kind of walk your feet, you kind of like can stagger your feet. And the goal here is to support on one arm. So this leg could be out here or in. You can also even just like stand against the wall with one arm supporting there. So make sure that the lower you go, the harder it's gonna be. Make sure you have your body in good position for that side plank. We'll go 10 seconds in between sides. I'm probably gonna do the left arm elevated, and then I'll go down on the floor for the right, just to not have my back to the camera during those times. And then I'll take you straight through for the 4 sets. A couple of notes on the weighted march, you can hold the weight up here, or if you have a little bit heavier weight and you wanna hold it at the side, I'm gonna be doing every other round. So left arm, round 2, I'm gonna go right arm, okay? So if you wanna do that, you can do a single arm hold as well. All right, if there are no questions, we'll start with that weighted march here in about 10 seconds. And like I said, all 4 sets, so just join us when you're ready for as many as you'd like. All right, and 3, 2, 1, here we go. If you're holding the weight at the side of your body, Focus to hold the torso nice and tall. You can march in place or use your space. Very good. If you got the weight on one side, just keep yourself really even. We're almost there. And 2, 1, and rest and rotate. Good job. Side plank next. Pick a side to start on. And 3, 2, 1. Join us when you're ready. Or we're avoiding sinking in that shoulder, so lifting up, and don't let the hips sink either. So hold nice and square. If you're on the ground, I recommend supporting on the elbow. Halfway through. Nice work. Breathe. And 2, 1, and rotate. Good job. Coming to the other arm. Set elbow right underneath the shoulder if you're on the floor, and come on up when you're ready. Got a happy dog over there. Spot's a really sweet rescued pit bull. He's blind. He's one of my mom's failed fosters. It's a good thing to fail with a foster dog sometimes. Good job. We're almost there. Holding strong. And 3, 2, 1, rest. Very good, everybody. That's set 1. We're going to go right into set 2. So give yourself a longer break if you need it. Otherwise, weighted march in 2, 1. Here we go. So if you're doing the single arm hold, we're on the right hand this time. You can also hold the weight up at your chest, up at the shoulders, however you want to do it. Working on your posture here, tall chest. 5 seconds. And rotate. Very good. Back to our side plank. Set the feet. 2, 1, and join when you're ready. Especially those that are supported on the outstretched arm. Watch the elbow. Make sure you don't lock it out. So just give a little bit of give in the elbow, supporting that joint. Halfway. Some nice morning sunshine coming up here in Colorado. Almost there. Keep lifting, holding, breathing, and rotate. Nice job. Same thing other side. Stack the elbows, set the feet, and go on your knees or on your toes. We'll go knees this time. Show some different positions. And I tend to reach the arm up overhead, but it's totally appropriate to hold it on your waist if you prefer. Nice job, AG. That looks good. There's our halfway. This will be the end of set 2, which is our halfway point. 3, 2, 1, and rotate. Awesome. Set 3 coming up. If you need a little bit longer break or want to grab some water, go for it. Otherwise, 2, 1, here we are. Second half. Breathe and move. Nice high steps, or at least as high as you're comfortable. And as the knees come up, the toes come up too. Lift them high. Well done, everybody. 2, 1, transition, side plank. Keep it moving, keep good focus. 2, 1, and when you're ready. Lifting through the shoulder, lifting through the hips. Nice job. Halfway. Keep focused on holding that good body position. We tend to rotate forward with the upper body as well. So rotate that top shoulder back. Keep it right and square with the hips, and rest and rotate. Good job. Making your way to the opposite arm. And here we go. Up and hold. Breathe. Planks are great for our spine because they strengthen the core. They help us get some more endurance in the core. And it helps hold the spine in a neutral position and have that strength so that when you go to pick up dogs, grandchildren, bags of groceries, you have that strength that you don't injure yourself. 2, 1, and there's round 3. Just one more to go, everybody. Making your way back to the final march. If you're doing single arm, we're on the right side, and begin. As we get tired, we tend to kind of lose our forward posture position, or not lose it, we tend to fall forward. So think, check in with your posture. Are your hips stacked right over, are your shoulders stacked over your hips? Pull yourself upright. Use those muscles of your back. Stand as tall as you can. 3, 2, 1, transition. This is our last round, final set of planks. 2, 1, and join us when you're ready. Breathe and hold. There you go, Shirley, good work. There's our halfway. Find that balance point. Hips and shoulders nice and aligned. 2, 1, transition there. Final transition, everybody, and we'll finish with a cool down stretch. Elbow into the shoulder, and here we go, up and in. Keep breathing. There's our halfway. Remember, you can relax the hand on the hip if you prefer, just right along the side body. And 2, 1, all done. Woo! Fantastic. All right. Nice work. So if you're on the floor, if you want to come into child's pose, knees together, reach the hands out, kind of drop, toes together, knees divide, drop back. If you're standing or upright, see if you can find a table, and you're gonna stand a few feet behind the table, walk the hands out on the table, and then kind of stretch back from there. So I've got a little bit of bend in the knees, and drop your head between the arms, and just gently rock your body side to side. You can even put your hands on the back of a chair or something, just make sure that you're stable. Very good. And then those of you that are on the ground, we're gonna do one more rotation. Those of you that are standing, go ahead and take a seat. On the floor, you're gonna do this guy here, our rotations from the floor, between 5 and 10 each side, or join me in the chair. And we're gonna do the same idea, but from a seated position. Hand behind the head, coming to the opposite side of the body, and then you're gonna sit tall and rotate. You're moving with me seated here. Let's get 5 on each side. Pause in that open rotation, breathe, and then transition. Very good. So we're opening the mid back a little bit, getting some rotation in the upper back and lower back. Switch sides if you have it. Breathe and twist. Those of you that are on the floor, feel free to roll onto your back once you finish your rotations here. And if you're on your back, you can just have your feet flat with the knees bent and rock your hips side to side. If you're seated with me here, just kind of mimic me where I have my feet flat on the ground. And I'm just gonna rock them side to side. We're looking to just get some movement through the hips, kind of like windshield wiper your legs. Good job. Those of you that are again on the ground, you can lay back, pull your knees up at like 90 degrees, and you can go what's called a 2-knee twist. I'll show you really quick. This one here, we're gonna go side to side, keep your core engaged, all right? Or if you're seated with me, we'll repeat that seated rotation that we did earlier, where it's hand to the shoulder. You can either cross the legs or just use the opposite arm, and we're just pulling ourselves into a seated twist here. If you wanna circle the elbow, that's great too. Opening up the chest. Good, and switch when you're ready. Fantastic. And very last one, we did it earlier. This time we'll add the forward fold if you feel good for it. Hands behind the back, extending out those arms, really opening the chest. You can start by just rocking yourself side to side. And then if you want to add that forward bow, get really good strength in the legs, slight bend in the knees, and then you want to be long in the